What's up, Flick fans? I'm here to talk about my most anticipated movies of 2021. This is going to be a top 20 because there's so many movies that I'm excited for in 2021 because a lot of them got delayed out of 2020. And let's begin. Number 20, Uncharted. Director Ruben Fleischer with Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. The behind the scenes stuff and like the photos of the book or the artifacts and the rooms where you find the artifacts. It really intrigued me. I'm really excited to see the story, see a trailer, see what the movie's all about. I have a feeling it's gonna be kind of like sort of like Indiana Jones in the story, which is what the games were as well. Just really intrigued by this, and I hope it lives up to the hype and gives video game movies a better name than some of the other ones that have come out. Number 19 is another video game movie with the new Mortal Kombat reboot, which is directed by Simon McQuad with James Wan producing. And the cast, just the logo, it really intrigues me. It really looks like they're doing something good with it. And it's also going to be rated R with fatalities in it, which I thought was really, really cool. And I wasn't expecting that to be an addition to the movie. And also because James Wan is one of my all-time favorite directors, just him producing has me even more intrigued because of what he's done before. Number 18. Speaking of James Wan, he has a new movie coming out next year called Malignant, which is directed by James Wan, and it, from what I read, it's like about like a tumor that turns out to be like a parasite or something like that. And if it's anything like what I read, because it's based off a comic book, or comic book that James Wan helped make, really intrigued me. Really, just makes me excited for what he's gonna do. And as I said before, he's one of my favorite directors of all time. So pretty much anything he does, I'm gonna be pretty excited for because I like pretty much all the movies I've seen him direct. Just really excited because the concept seems really interesting. It just can't say I've seen myself many movies like what this is probably going to be about. So just really intrigued, really excited. Number 17, Black Widow, directed by Kate Shortland. It's a first Phase 4 movie for Marvel, although I'm pretty sure this movie takes place, like, I think, in between Civil War and Infinity War, I think is where it takes place. The trailers look really good, the action looks really good, cinematography also looks really good, the chemistry between the characters seems really good, and it has a really good cast with Scarlett Johansson returning as Black Widow, Florence Pugh as her like sister, I can't remember the character's name, David Harbour as pretty much like the Russian version of Captain America. Just, and the villain is Taskmaster, which I always thought Taskmaster was a pretty cool villain because of his power set to where he has photogenic reflexes, where if he sees somebody fight, he can replicate their moves, which it just seems like this is going to be another hit by Marvel. Number 16, Dune. I don't really know much about Dune. I never watched the original miniseries or the book that the miniseries is based off of, but the trailer really intrigued me. The cast is really good. It's directed by a really good director in Denis Villeneuve, and just really interesting. The different, it's kind of like Star Wars, but I'm pretty sure Dune came before Star Wars. Just really interesting in how they're doing this and what the story. I'm intrigued of what the story's going to be about because the trailer didn't really give much of that away, which can be a good and bad thing, but I'm intrigued. So, yeah, that's my number 16 most hyped film of 2021. Number 15, Spyro and the Book of Saw. I'm not really a Saw fan. I'm not really a fan of typical like torture porn type films, except for maybe the first one because I thought that one was more intriguing than the others, which is also directed by James Wan. But this one I just thought really looked good. It's directed by the director of this is Darren Lynn Boseman, and it has Chris Rock as one of the lead detectives. And I don't know. I found the trailer intriguing. I think it looks good. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype that the trailer said. And yeah, number 14, Last Night in Soho. I don't know much about this, but I've heard it described as like a time travel horror film directed by Edgar Wright, and that just really intrigued me. I like Anya Taylor-Joy. Has the girl from Jojo Rabbit, the Jewish girl that was hiding in the wall or hiding in the walls from the Nazis, and she was really good in that. So I'm excited to see what this is gonna be about. Excited to just see Edgar Wright direct another movie because I really like Shaun of the Dead. I really like Baby Driver. Just really good, fun films. And this one is definitely different than what I've seen him do before. So it counts me, or has me intrigued. Number 13, Candyman. This is another horror movie directed by Nia DaCosta that was supposed to come out this year, but unfortunately because of the COVID pandemic got pushed back to next year. The trailer looked really intriguing, really creepy. Looks like it's gonna just be a really well done horror film, and just I really like the original Candyman with Tony Todd in 1992. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna do new and similar because of how well done the original Candyman was and how that impacted horror as we know it. Number 12, Wrong Turn, directed by Mike P. Nelson. It's one of the inbred like redneck hillbilly cannibals movie. It's like I'm not sure if it's like a total reboot or what because the new one is titled just Wrong Turn, but there was a Wrong Turn movie in 2003. But the thing that has me put this on the list so high is that the trailer actually looked really, really good. It looked really well made. The dialogue, from what I've heard in the trailer, was actually pretty good, and a lot of the traps and stuff look really cool. Number 11, A Quiet Place 2. Director John Krasinski. The first Quiet Place was also directed by John Krasinski and was one of the best horror movies of that year, of 2018, I'm pretty sure is when that came out. And it just really intrigued me. It was really creepy, had a lot of really good atmosphere, and it seems like that's coming over for A Quiet Place 2 because the trailer was really intense. It even seems to go back to the beginning, so John Krasinski's gonna at least be in the beginning of the movie. And I really like, most people don't like that type of stuff, but I actually really like that they're doing that. I feel like it adds to the movie and gives more context to the situation that the people are in. So it really has me excited. Number 10, ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. I don't know much about ShangChi. I find him really interesting, really intriguing because of what his character is, considered one of the best martial artists in all of Marvel, and I'm pretty sure that it's also based off Bruce Lee. And I think they got a really good actor to play him, in Simon Liu, I think is his name. Hope I didn't butcher that. And it just, everything I've heard on it intrigued me. It seems like they're gonna actually do the Mandarin and kind of not do what Iron Man 3 did with the fake Mandarin. And they even set up the 10 rings in the first Iron Man movie, which I found interesting. Just really hyped. Hope it's good. Can't wait to see a trailer. Number 9, Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. Reason James Gunn is directing Suicide Squad before Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was because he got fired because of some bad jokes. I will say bad jokes, but he said them 10 years ago. And I just, with the like behind the scenes footage and stuff and the characters in it, I really like the tone of the movie. And also the director's a big plus because I think that Suicide Squad is perfect for what he does as a director. Really fits with like, it's Suicide Squad in my opinion is kind of similar to Guardians of the Galaxy in a way. So I just think that it was a perfect choice, and I'm glad he's directing it. Number 8, Eternals, directed by Chloe Zhao. It's just a really, the characters intrigue me because I didn't know much about them, like at all, and the concept of these super powered, like super strong beings living among us throughout human history, shaping our history, I just thought was really cool. And it has a really diverse cast, which I'm kind of excited for to see the different perspectives. Just really, really excited. Hopefully, we get a trailer within the next few months, but yeah, it sort of had a trailer already, but whatever. Pandemic. Number 7. Most people probably don't even know about this movie, but I'm actually really excited for the Resident Evil reboot, directed by Johannes Roberts, who directed 47 Meters Down, which I thought was a pretty neat and cool little shark horror movie. And everything from behind the scenes that I've seen, because I follow somebody who follows the production of the movie, it just really intrigues me. It seems like they really want to do the story of the first 2 Resident Evils justice, and I'm crossing my fingers hoping that it's really good, because of everything I heard, this can be really, really good and much better than those other awful Resident Evil movies directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Number 6, Morbius, directed by Daniel Espinosa, and I thought the trailer looked really good, and the behind the scenes stuff I've seen, it's really intrigued me. And also the fact that this movie seems to be tied in to the MCU, which I was not expecting when I first watched the trailer until they showed Michael Keaton's Vulture. And it's the next movie in the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. They're Sony's version of the MCU, I guess. And I really enjoyed Venom 2018, so I'm excited to see what they do with Morbius, because I think Morbius is kind of an interesting character, like a scientific vampire of sorts, where it's a blood disease, and what he does in a more scientific way to make himself the living vampire. Number 5, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Director Michael Chavez, who also directed The Curse of La Llorona. I really like the Conjuring movies. It's some of my favorite horror movies. Yes, it isn't directed by James Wan, but I feel that Michael Chavez will do the story justice, and it's about the first time they ever used or a demonic possession as an argument for getting somebody off on innocent, because it's claimed that he was possessed by a demon or the devil to kill, to commit crimes, and just that concept alone is really interesting. Just Number 4, Free Guy, with Ryan Reynolds and the director Sean Levy. The trailer looked really intriguing, as Ryan Reynolds seems to be playing like a NPC that has enough and does its own thing, which I thought, and it looked hilarious. Just looks like a lot of fun. Really intriguing. Yeah, that's pretty much all I need to say on Free Guy. Don't Breathe 2 is another movie that probably a lot of people didn't know about because the production stuff was kept a secret somehow, and it doesn't have Fede Alvarez returning for the director's chair, but it did help write the script. And the director is Rodo Sayagiz. Oh my god, I just butchered that poor guy's name. I really like the first one. I'm really intrigued on what they're gonna do for the story of the sequel because of how it ended. It seems like the blind guy played by Stephen Lang. Number two, Ghostbusters Afterlife, directed by Jason Reitman, who is the son of the original director, or the director of the original movies, Ivan Reitman. And the trailer just looked really interesting. It seems like something new, where it's not set in New York. It's set, like, I think it said Oklahoma, and it has a really good cast with like Paul Rudd, Finn Wolfhard, McKenna Grace, and the trailer just really good because of the new concept and how they seem to be tying Egon, because unfortunately Harold Ramis has passed away before this movie, like 6 years before this movie came out, and it seems like they're tying it in by having the mother of Finn Wolfhard and McKenna Grace's character be Egon, which I just find very interesting. And the original Ghostbusters are returning, so that's another thing to add to the extreme hype for this movie. And finally, on to my number one most anticipated movie of the year, Venom: Let There Be Carnage, directed by Andy Serkis. Really excited for this because I've been also following behind the scenes stuff for this movie, but and everything I've seen just really intrigues me, really makes me more excited because it seems like the story's gonna be better than the first one, even though I really did like the Venom 2018 movie. And also, just a really good actor playing the live action Carnage enrolled Woody Harrelson, and Tom Hardy's returning, which he was like the best part, one of the best parts of the first Venom movie. And they even have Robert Richardson, one of the most acclaimed cinematographers of all time, with a 3 Oscar winner for cinematography, just who mainly worked with like Quentin Tarantino. Andy even worked with Andy Serkis on his first film, Breathe, and Martin Scorsese. So the cinematography is going to be really good in this movie.